Hi everyone and welcome to one of my latest videos. In this video we're going to take a quick little look at the new camera that I've just bought. It is the Canon EOS 90D. I'll just put it down. Basically all my subscribers know that I shoot with 80Ds. It's the video camera videoing me now. But it only does 1080p. So I've upgraded to the 90D basically for the 4K. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop this clip. I'm shooting with the Sigma 18-35 lens at f2.8, 50th of a second, 25p, so doubling my shutter speed, 50th of a second. I usually break that rule depending on what lights I'm using, but as I'm using, it's now winter, so I have no natural light at 6-7 o'clock on a night, so I'm using two LED lights in front of me and I'm using two softboxes behind me to light the background. If you've noticed, I've not zoomed in right tight to my face, and that's because when I swap it over to the 90D in a minute in 4K 25p, I'm going to put the same settings in, f2.8, Sigma 18-35 on, blah blah blah. Then I'm gonna zoom in and make a 1080p timeline and make different crops of me moving over here like this and moving out. But I'm going to use 4K and just see how good it is. It's going to be the standard 4K mode on the 90D. There is two 4K modes. There's 4K uncropped and then there's 4K cropped, which is meant to be slightly sharper, slightly better, but we're not going to try that one today, I don't think. We may do, we may not. So what we're going to do now, with the power of magic of editing, it's going to go to 4K. Hi all, and we're now, well, we're not in 4K, but we are on the EOS 90D, and this video here was shot in 4K, downscale to 1080p, of course, so that I can zoom in and out, get different compositions and just have a play. That's the main reason why I got the 90D. I am using the same settings, ISO 400, 50th of a second at f2.8. Of course, I'm in my office. We've got 4 lights to assist us. I have got them all turned down, and that's why I'm shooting at ISO 400. If people are wondering why 400, you could go to ISO 100. Yes, I could, and yeah, no, I can't. My LED lights here, they're really powerful. They're only on 15 or 20, but the two softboxes at the back, they're only cheap graphy softboxes. They're all on full power, and I wanted to blow the white background out, so ISO 400 is to blow the background out behind me, so I don't have to do any editing. And then, of course, I've adjusted the two LED lights at the front of me to illuminate me. Anyway, while I'm talking about this video, I'm going to talk about a few little specifications on the 90D. We're not going to go into it too deep here, it's just a quick video. And while I'm doing it, we'll just mess around, animating, zooming in, moving over to the left, moving to the right, just to show you how great it is to have 4K back. It means that when I'm doing a video, I don't need to have a static shot like I have got now. We can animate it and make it look a little bit better. We'll have a go anyway. Basically, 90D. What's the difference between the 80D and the 90D? The difference is 10D. Nah, I'm just playing. Right, 32 megapixel sensor, these 24 megapixels. We've still got the single card slot, that's not changed. So what? We've got IAF detection in the 90D. It's not actually being used right at this moment in time. I think I've got to enable it in the settings, but I've not enabled it yet because I don't really need it. We've got what else we got on the 90D? Obviously we've got 4K, we've got 120 frames, I think it's 120 frames, 1080p. I don't want to go too into it because people will be slagging me off down below saying I got it wrong. This is just a quick first look video and I'm just chatting a bit of shit just so that I can zoom in, go to the left, go to the right and just show you what animating a 4K video does, and that's one of the reasons why I got the 90D. Would I recommend you get the 90D? I ain't got a clue yet because I haven't looked at the video. It's the first video I've ever done. I'm going to have a look at it on the computer. But what I will say is I'm pretty confident that it'll be better than the 90D. Won't be much better, it'll just be 4K. Will give me the opportunity to upload 4K videos if I want, and I may do. I can't upload this video in 4K really because I want to practice the zooming in and out and stuff like that, and I recorded the first part of the video at 1080p and I don't like to upscale, I don't mind downscaling, but you can't add pixels to a 1080p to make it 4K, it's just not going to work. Anyway, I'm going to get away with this video now, and I just want to answer one quick question before I go. A few people have been asking why I haven't gone mirrorless yet. Now, mirrorless is very attractive to me. I do like the idea of it. I like the idea of some of the Sonys, especially the later ones, the A7 Mark III and stuff like that, because they're fantastic still cameras and they're also stunning video cameras, but they've still got the little quirks. And I don't like the lens choice at the minute. I think it's too limited. So I'm holding out by keeping my Canon lenses, my Canon cameras for video and my Nikon cameras for stills. And hopefully, if Nikon bring a perfectly stunning camera out that does stunning video and stunning stills, I'll get rid of Canon altogether, buy some more Nikon glasses and have 4-5 Nikon mirrorless cameras that can do me video and do me stills, do both. I mean, that would be my ultimate dream, to not have Canon for stills, Canon for video and Nikon for stills. I'd like to maybe have Nikon for my video and stills, or if Canon bring out a really good mirrorless camera that will beat the Nikon. I just love the Nikons, they're just better cameras. It's as simple as that. They're a bit harder to use, a bit more fiddlier in menus sometimes, but the actual image quality is better. And that's the only really thing holding me back now. The 80D, the 90D, they're going to do what I need them to do. They work flawlessly. They've been around for years. The colour science is fantastic. They take great stills and they do fantastic video. Is it the sharpest on the market? No. But, you know, you'll find out when you do a lot of videos that if it's over-processed and over-sharpened, most people don't like it anyway. They don't like to look at themselves zinging sharp. They just think, ooh, I don't want to see that. Like Blu-ray. Sometimes you look at Blu-ray and you think, that's just way too sharp. It's too much. It just looks fake. Where you don't get that with a Canon. It just looks nice and clean and not over-processed, and it looks fantastic. So I'm really happy with Canon. That's why I'm going to stay there at the minute. Do I think it's a bit overpriced in the UK? £1,200, £1,209. Yeah, really, but it is what it is. It'd be £1,000 anyway if it didn't have 4K. So for extra few £100, you're getting 4K, which has got to be a bonus from a Canon. And you're also getting your eye detector autofocus, which will help in live view. So what that means to anybody who doesn't know, if this was a photograph, usually I would come up to my eyeball, focus and recompose to this composition and take the shot. With eye detection, I should be able to frame it up as it is now, press my shutter, and the box will jump straight onto my eye, so no focus and recompose. Frame, get your shot, press your shutter, take it, bang, it's focused on eyeball. I do like the sound of that. I think it's great. It probably stops you when you're shooting at shallow depths of field as well to move your focus point all the way over to this side, because the camera will just go bang and it'll just find your eye, focus, and you can just take your shot. It means you can shoot quicker, concentrate on more what you're doing, getting better expressions, better emotion, and getting the camera out of the way. Is it important? No, not at all. I ain't got it at the minute. I've never had it and it hasn't really slowed me down. Will it be a bonus? Yes. Anyway, I'm going to end this video now. It was just a quick video just to mention the 90D, but over the up and coming weeks, less than weeks, over the up and coming nights, we're going to do a few little comparisons to the 80D. We'll do some low light shots, we'll do some dynamic range. We might even, for those who request it, we might put the 90D against the D4S, the 5D Mark IV, the 5D Mark III, the 5D Mark II. All the cameras that I compared last year, I still have all the files. So for anybody crying, I won't get the exact framing that I got last year off of all these models, but it'll be near enough. And my eye will see enough to let you know the difference. You know, if it's slightly, the camera's slightly to the left be an inch, snooze you lose, get over it. It's not going to be a scientific test, but if I can see that it looks noisier, ISO 400, the 80D than the 90D, then I'm going to say so. It's not really going to alter it. Right guys, this is going to be a really short video. I couldn't help but putting the camera into 4K cropped, which says, ideally you're not seeing it in 4K cropped, you're going to see it in 1080, but I will process all the 3 files with the same amount of contrast, sharpness, and stuff like that. So have a look at me now. Do I look sharper now than I looked in the previous video? Well, you won't better probably remember the first video, but do I look sharper than the previous video? This is 4K crop. You'll see I'm zoomed in more. I'm roughly stood where I was stood before. Before I had like this much in shot. Now I'm roughly stood where I was again. I'm near enough chopping the top of my head off. I'm sort of coming down on my legs. But we are in 4K cropped. It's meant to be better quality. But you do get an overheating warning on the camera. But we'll talk about that in another video, but I just couldn't resist doing it while I was going to put the camera away. Anyway, I'll say it again. Thanks for watching. Please comment and subscribe, and I'll see you over the next few coming days with some nice videos.